What's going on, my PT peeps and my Walking Dead family? Welcome to the PT channel. I'm One-Eye Bri, back to talk about The Walking Dead. And in this video, we're going to talk about some spoilers, potentially. Some major potential spoilers for The Walking Dead Season 9, Episode 15 and or 16. But obviously, spoiler warning. If you're worried about spoilers, please stop watching because I don't want to ruin it for you. And again, spoilers for the TV show, comics, episode 915 and 916 potentially. I don't want to ruin it for you. So let's talk about what the Spoiling Dead fan said right here. It's been spreading like wildfire. Let's dig in, shall we? This is from the Spoiling Dead fans. Victims named by sources. The first set of potential victims are ones actually named by our sources. Multiple sources have stated these same names. While they are not confirmed, we feel these deaths are most likely. Henry, Tara, and Enid. It's worth a mention that one source in particular mentioned that these would be the big deaths and everyone else that dies could be considered background characters. However, they did not list any other names. So Henry, Tara, and Enid are most likely. So that's interesting for a variety of reasons. We talk about it in our Red Fair video, and a lot of people are making a big hoopla about this name and that name and who said this and who said that. But either way, the fair will be upon us in episode 915. We have had a Red Fair theory. I don't know if anyone else came up with that, but I know we have. I don't know what other channels do. I don't really think about it. I don't follow anybody else, but people love to say that this channel and that channel and this channel and that channel. Either way, we definitely have a Red Fair theory and we're sticking to it. And it's a theory and it's a lot of fun, but it's kind of confirmed. Tammy Rose, we'll talk about her in a second, has a red lantern behind her. Who else have had a red object or red clothes around them that are in the big three of the deaths that were just said? Henry, Tara, and Enid. And if you don't believe it, I'll show you right here in a couple seconds. But either way, is the red theory a thing? Is the Maroon 5 theory a thing? I can't wait to find out. And if you look at Henry right here, what does he have next to his bed? A red lantern. Basically the same red lantern or a similar red lantern that was behind her. Now, red can symbolize a lot of things, but I think it's a warning for the Red Fair. What's all that around Tara on the poles? Looks to be red fabric, right? Now again, Tara, Henry, Enid, they may die, they may not. It's not confirmed, but it could happen. But who will run Hilltop if Tara's killed off? I think that will be answered in episode 916, setting up for season 10. Now, Enid right there has a red shirt on. People were like, oh, you're a little over the top with the red thing and you're reaching at straws with the red thing. Well, am I? If Henry, Tara, and Enid are actually picked for the Pikes, that's kind of confirmation for the red theory and the Red Fair theory. I think it's pretty cool. But either way, Enid, Tara, and Henry could be picked for the Pikes in episode 915. Speculated deaths. These are potential victims just based on possible evidence and clues. And if you know our channel, we talked about Tammy Rose definitely being a victim potentially, because Brett Butler posted a picture on Instagram that it was her second to last episode when she initially got to the fair, so the fair could be her last episode. So Tammy Rose, Kelly, and Diane. Kelly, Angel Theory, has had some different posts on Instagram as well, and that it was hinted at that she might be done with the show. She seemed to be saying goodbye. As for Diane, it appears that she left Georgia after filming episode 15. So that could just be that she's not in episode 16 or what, but maybe she's picked for sure. Tammy Rose is a character that I thought would be picked because we were seeing more and more of her, especially in the early parts of season 9, the second half of season 9. And we'll have to see who stays at the fair, like Cal or Marco, but we'll have to see what happens. As for Angel Theory, who plays Kelly on The Walking Dead, what's that behind her? It's a person wearing a red scarf. Is it someone that is going to be picked and Kelly would be safe? But I just see red in the picture, so it could be a warning that Kelly gets picked. As for Diane, I don't have any pictures of her with red in the picture. So she could be safe, or the red theory doesn't connect the dots altogether. But it's looking pretty good if it happens. Tara, Enid, Henry, Tammy Rose, Kelly, and again, it's not confirmed, but I think it's interesting. And if you look at the row where Diane is to the left, you see Diane, Marco, and Cal. And I find it interesting because that could be how they're lined up on the Pikes, or they could all be safe, or we could lose one or another, but we're not sure. But Marco is wearing a reddish magenta, some kind of shirt. But oh man, I can't wait to find out. The safe list. We feel very certain that these characters are safe from the Pikes. Ezekiel, Jerry, Michonne, Carol, Daryl, Judith, and Negan. Most likely safe list. Father G, Rosita, Eugene, and Sadiq. It's worth mentioning at least one source believed all 4 of the above characters were filming after the Pikes. We're a little hesitant because you'd think someone involved in the love quadrangle would be Pike, but maybe this won't be the case. Who discovers the Pikes? Michonne, Daryl, and Carol would likely be the ones to discover the Pikes. We don't know if anyone else will be with them, although judging by the promo, possibly Yumiko, since she's with them at some point. So that's interesting on a variety of levels. And I think that Michonne, Daryl, Carol, Judith, and Negan will definitely be safe. But the fact that Ezekiel and Jerry are safe is great. One, because I love Jerry. And Ezekiel needs to stick around because he's kind of a big character and I wouldn't want to lose him like this. But I still think that he could die another way. Now Ezekiel could survive. And if you know the comics, you know that Ezekiel and Rosita are the big Pike victims. There's a bunch of other victims, but Ezekiel and Rosita are by far the biggest named characters that die that way. But I think Ezekiel lives and people are like, yeah, he's going to survive. And then he gets killed another way. Kind of like the Glenn and Abraham thing. And I'm glad to see that Jerry is on the safe list. I don't know about Nabila, that's for sure, but we'll have to wait and see. And I kind of wish I knew how many victims there were, but I'm also glad that we don't know for certain what's going on. But if I get more information, I would definitely share it with you. But as for the love quadrangle, no Sadiq in this picture, but he's there somewhere, right? I wonder what's going to happen here because some people are speculating that Father Gabriel could get killed off and then we might have a Eugene-Rosita type relationship for the show because in the comics, it's Eugene and Rosita together, but I just don't know what the show wants to do because we have the comic and the show and the comic are different things and I'm okay with it being different, but I still believe that either Father Gabriel or Eugene will be the connecting point with the radio, but it just makes more sense for it to be Father Gabriel in my opinion. Now, is this the Pike scene? Are Daryl and Yumiko seeing the Pikes? Could be, for sure. Now, Daryl is wearing a red bandana around his knee. Obviously, he's not going to get picked. But he could be the one and probably will be the one, if not part of the group that finds the Pikes. It makes sense because Daryl's connected with everything. And I mean, that's cool, but you could have a couple different parts with the Whispers and Alpha and Daryl and Carol and Michonne, but it looks to be probably Daryl seeing the Pikes here, but we just don't know. It just makes sense because when the Spoiling Dead fans were out and about getting pictures of some filming in November, they saw some things being scouted in this area here, and it just fits the picture with Daryl and Yumiko right here. So I don't know who's with Daryl and Yumiko, but it makes sense that if this is where they were setting up for the Pikes or scouting potential areas, it looks like the same landscape or around the area of that same picture. So I believe that some of it was filmed out here, but also some of it was filmed on the studio set, which is cool. So we'll see how it turns out. I'm excited to see what happens. And there's a lot of rumors and news and this and facts and this information and that. But I trust what the Spoiling Dead fans say, and that includes this information. I love the picture right here because you can see a bunch of cones in the snow. And it's just interesting because it's like, okay, how many victims are there? There's a lot of cones right there. And I don't know if it's going to be 8, 10, 12 victims, and you can see the snow on the ground. And we're definitely getting snow in episode 16, possibly 15, and I can't wait to find out. But you can see a lot of cones right there. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that we can see. So there could be more. Also, there's this picture going around of some of the studio filming. We're not sure if it's episode 915 or 916. Is it the Whispers? Is it a bunch of walkers? Is it something else? Does it have nothing to do with the Pikes? I can't wait to find out. I'm super excited for episode 915 and 916, and I don't think it's going to be a cliffhanger, guys. I know a lot of people are worried about it being a cliffhanger, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think we're going to find out in episode 915 or early in 916, and I know a lot of people are worried about being like the end of the season where Daryl or somebody comes across it, and they're like, what happened? Oh, we have to wait till October to find out. I don't think they're going to do that again. I hope they think they learned their lesson from the whole Negan lineup. We don't need another lineup problem that we have to wait to see who's picked. And I just don't see that happening. The word is that that is not what happens. So we can breathe a little easier on that. So let me know your thoughts. Post your comments below. What do you make of this information? Who do you think gets picked? How many people do you think gets picked? How do you think it goes down? Do you read the comics? Are you up to date of the comics? And do you know what happens there? I'm excited for it. I'm anxious and nervous and excited all at the same time. So let me know your thoughts. Post your comments below. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And remember, guys, with hard work, dedication, belief, and sacrifice, you can truly achieve your goals. Believe in yourself. You can do it. It's about love, support, staying positive, making memories. And as always, tell them, Daryl.
Yo, we love you guys. Honestly, thank you.